Give us any chance, we'll take it. Read us any rule, we'll break it. We're gonna make our dreams come true.
Welcome to Night After Night, a podcast about 8 seasons in a row. I'm Mr. Fernandes, and
I am Chris Jayawardena. Hello.
And we're reviewing Lonely in the Middle, an episode from Season 2 of Laverne and Shirley. Directed by James Burrows and written by Jack Winter. I'm pretty sure Chris has some facts about them.
I do.
A lot about James Burrows.
Some interesting notes. So Jack Winter, writer, multiple episodes he's done for the show that we've seen his name come up, here and there. This was his last episode for the show as a writer, but we will actually see him return later as a director. Supposedly, To Tell the Truth was his first directed episode, so we'll be getting to that at some point in the future.
To Tell the Truth is a fine episode. It's one of the better Season 6 episodes. It's good.
And as for James Burrows directing, it's Burrows, the guy who does the things, the guy who's still kicking and working on sitcoms, even to this day.
Bless him. Keep going.
I have a note that as I was observing, the episodes he had directed for the show, the fact that he keeps directing episodes that has a lot of like Laverne shippy stuff just makes me wonder how much of it was him, Penny, and Michael like making stuff happen.
Yeah.
Especially in this episode with regards to the wraparound because it's super cute. Sadly, that being said, this is his last episode for Laverne and Shirley. So just say, no, James, come back. You were so good. So as we salute Mr. James Burrows, director of Dog Day, Blind Dates, From Suds to Stardom, Look Before You Leap, Dear Future Models, Good Time Girls, Guilty Until Proven Not Innocent, Guinea Pigs, and now lastly, Lonely in the Middle. Thank you, James. Good job.
Thank you, sir, for your service. Here's what the episode's about. Laverne's lazy night at home reading a smutty romance novel is interrupted by the appearance of Lenny, seeking her healing touch for a finger he accidentally stapled. Lenny had been making a sign for an upcoming strike. They already got the 2 cents raise the union was searching for. Talking about the Laverne strike makes Laverne reminisce about the last time the workforce at Shotz tried to strike, which led to the biggest fight she and Shirley have ever had. Sometime before the current strike loomed over them, Shirley's outspoken behavior at a union meeting resulted in Shirley being elected to speak to the big shots at Shotz, and her promotion up the corporate ladder to a supervisory role on the line. Shirley does not make a good executive, and her know-it-all attempts at efficiency drive the rank-and-file crazy, and Laverne too, when she brings her behavior home with her. What did you think of this episode?
As much as, I know this is a very funny episode, it's a very goofy episode, Shirley's behavior in this made me sad.
Yeah.
I saw her becoming so much like her mom and her trying to please the daddy figure, and it just was like, no, Shirley, no. It made me sad. I mean, because it's
fitting because she's depressing. Even Lenny says this is a depressing story. I have to escape the depressing story. And considering how into Laverne he is most of the time, the fact that he wants to escape the depressing story says a lot.
Yep. Especially when she's letting him read the trashy novel that she was poking at. And okay, speaking of the opening of him coming in, it's like, I need a Band-Aid, Laverne. It's just, he's such a baby. It's adorable. And I love it's clearly something they've done before.
Yeah.
And it's like, why did you not jump on this? The finger kiss just kills me. I love it.
Yeah. The hint that he frequently gives himself minor injuries and he always comes to her for mothering to have his wounds bandaged. Like I said, there is so much Peter Pan, Wendy Darling stuff in that relationship. And I feel like nobody hits on it, but like she is always amending on his wounded parts emotionally and with the L and stapling his wounds back together. Just like when he's sewing Peter's shadow back on, and he's always leading her off into ridiculous adventures, like Peter leads Wendy off into ridiculous adventures. So there's your parallel, kids. There's your literary parallel. This is a great wraparound scene. The wraparound is great. It's very fun. The idea that he was up there just making his signs, she's down there reading her smutty romance stuff, and the introductory line is he said the words that set her heart on fire. And it's just like, it's great.
It's so cute. And I love the, there's that line, because we should probably, since we're talking about it, get back to the moment. It's like, she's like, what are you doing? You listen to me, and he's reading the book, and he touched in a place, what do you think that was? The basement? It's like, yeah, Lenny, the basement. I love your comment. I made sure to mark this down. It's do you remember what you said about that question?
No, I don't remember what I said.
You said it's the most innocent and least innocent question that he ever asks.
Yes, yes, yes. That's fitting. That's fitting, and it really is. It really, truly is.
But it's good, yeah. And it was kind of cool to see it as a flashback episode in this format. I mean, it's another TV trope, but it's I thought it was cool. It was the way it was done was interesting, and it also helps with the pacing, especially because it does get to be such a downer. Coming back to Laverne and Lenny kind of helps mellow it out a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. I just love that the notion that she is trying to burn herself to him, and he's listening. But on the other hand, he's not listening, and because he is depressing as hell, the two of them are fighting. And the main meat of the story, all the stuff with the union meeting is funny. And then you lead into Shirley trying her darndest, and she basically becomes the efficiency expert father from Cheaper by the Dozen. And he was so annoying. My least favorite childhood book character. So even though he's a real person, he was a real person. I forgot about that for 5 seconds, I guess.
Oh, jeez. But yeah, and yeah, I mean, the meat's pretty good. I mean, there are some aspects I liked. I liked Big Henry. We've heard him name dropped, like, I think since season 1, honestly. Yes. And we finally get to see him. And I think this is his only appearance, but I want to make sure to bring this up about him. He's played by Pat McCormick. I initially thought it was Jack Perkins again. I was kind of hoping for that, but it was Pat McCormick. Yeah. This guy was a character actor. He was Big Enos in Smokey and the Bandit, in all 3 of them. And he also was in Scrooged. He did a lot of cartoon and TV bit show parts, including even an Ah Real Monsters episode, which brings me a lot of delight. However, the cool thing about this guy being in here, he was a writer on the Johnny Carson show, The Red Skelton Hour, and others during the 60s, 70s, and even during into the 80s. So he's got some interesting cred. So getting to see him get to play this character, and the thing is, he did some of these bits on Johnny Carson. So like, you know, when you look up his credits, it'll be like, you'll kind of make the connection, realizing he probably wrote the jokes that he was going to do on the show. Basically, that, you know, he would do a bit or a skit with Johnny, and he would. That's at least that's what I'm inferring anyway. But But it was pretty cool. But yeah, and likewise also Tight Wallet Tompkins, you know, played by Byron Webster. Byron Webster we'll see again in Supermarket Sweep, I guess another season or 2.
Yes.
Yeah, he was mostly a TV actor for bit parts and like. He was unfortunately, he was kind of the weak link for me, to be honest. The Tompkins character I kind of wanted a little more of, given that it's because he creates such chaos for Shirley in the process. You know,
and she's trying so hard to like either marry her way up or kind of move her way up the ladder. See, this in a way, this is Shirley's dream. She's moving on up. She's moving up the side of the corporate mountain, and then unfortunately, you know, it turns out badly for her because she turns into someone that her best friend would not like to hang out with. She's the kind of person that Laverne does not like, and because she just regiments the heck out of everything. And you use fewer emotions than that. You do that and then that, and then that. Nobody wants to do that.
Right. And it's the whole thing is how she gets played. You know, she gets played so easily about, you know, that she's given the carrot, and it's like, no, that's a poison carrot. You know, it's like, did we get the raise? Well, not quite. And it's like, what do you mean? I mean, it's just a little raise, sure, well, honey. I mean, you got cute hat and gloves, but you're not telling me what I want to hear right now. You know, it's like, what you mean is we don't get a raise and you get a promotion.
Yeah.
I did like the attempted noogie lynching.
Yeah, I was gonna mention the noogie. I was gonna mention that. How about a noogie? That was funny. Yeah. And no noogies. Put away your noogie.
Yeah, put it in your pocket. Put it in your pocket. Yeah, and I like how
ultimately this is Laverne. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say. I mean, because it depends on where we're going with the next conversation. But I was just gonna say that Laverne defending Shirley at first is interesting. She even dressing her up to make her look cute and harmless with the hat. It's like, look at those apple cheeks and everything.
Yeah. In the end, what bothers her is that she brings it home with her. And that's the final straw. She's regimenting how she drinks her milk and Pepsi. This just brings out Laverne's ultimate rebel side. You have Shirley as the rule-enforcing good girl, and Laverne as the rebel who would literally rather go in a conveyor belt into a bunch of boxes that are going to Green Bay. Then listen to her best friend do this to her. And you can't blame her in a lot of ways. Because, geesh. Because their fighting gets vicious in this episode. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, Shirley actually says the line, you know how fond she is of being grabbed when it comes to Laverne.
Oh, God, that one stings. Oh, my God.
Low blow for Lenny, low blow.
Yep. And, there's... Yeah, when I watched this with my mom, my mom's reaction, my mother had a reaction to this one, the line, there's a method to my madness, and my mom goes, oh, yeah, or a madness to her method. Which I thought was great.
And then you gotta feel sorry for Shirley, because Shirley really is only trying to help. She really is only trying to make things better. She's just bad at realizing, oh, this hurts the human feelings of my human friend. You know, she doesn't have that click in the back of her head that goes, oh yeah. And that, it results in people graffitiing her picture at work and people rebelling and her getting demoted back on the line.
I mean, there's kind of like this, perfectionist psychosis that kind of happens, where when it gets to like the word efficiency, what's kind of sad to me, and again, this is why this kind of bums me out a bit as a concept, because, I've had those moments of where I've tried to be perfect and I've gotten so much on my case of like, it needs to be this, it needs to be that, and like I freak out, and like when I get like major anxiety, like I get to this point where everything I do is wrong because everything I do feels superfluous, and like so it's a really sad thing, because that's you and I are writers, we have this tendency to we have to understand that we can't over edit the work to where it's like point and just go crazy. You could have just pointed and said crazy. That's not how language works, I mean, that's my note here, is that's not how language works, Shirley. As a writer, I am aghast and horrified by your assessment of the situation.
Exactly. It's kind of the writing version of Lenny Squiggy of Run Away.
And that's the thing, is like there's a when it gets to that point, what's the point in living? It's when we say like, oh, waste. No, it's not waste. It's flavor. It's the meat. It's the fat. It's the bones of what is life.
Salt and pepper. It's the salt and pepper.
And it's oh God, yeah. And just the whole like, I mean, just how she just what's my note here? Yeah, she's sold out to the man. To the man. And how it's so clear she's trying to, live the stream and trying to get this, and she's getting played. And it just, it makes me so sad. And then the way she grew, and the way that she even uses Laverne, because she feels that she is either owed or she knows that she can get away with pushing Laverne. And so she does. She grills her. She makes fun of her, and doesn't, and then gets upset because there's no repercussions. But it's like, you push somebody. What did you think they were going to do? And, when she's, and I love how Laverne turns it back on her when she marches down to the kitchen, over the couch, over the end table, and tells, and the audience goes crazy for that part too. I noticed.
Yeah. The audience love that. The audience, I find that the audience in later episodes will tend to have issues with anything where the girls get like way over the top, unforgivably mean to each other. Like when it gets really bad. There's an episode later on in the series where the audience is kind of shocked. We'll get to it. But it's not this, and it's not this one. But the audience love it when there'll be rivals, but not rivals to the point where it feels like they're going to kill each other.
Right.
So there's that line, that fine line that they won't cross there. I always enjoy it when they do stuff like that. I always enjoy it when they do ridiculous things like that. That's the show in a nutshell.
And of course, just real quick, we cannot go too far without mentioning that yes, we saw it coming as soon as we saw the set of the labeling line.
Yeah,
it was totally "I Love Lucy." I was waiting for that. As soon as that first shot of the set, I was like, "Oh, there it goes. It's gonna happen."
Yep. Well, the girls were kind of quasi considered Lucy's heirs to the slapstick comedy throne, because they did was very Lucy and Viv. Yeah, and they were very. It depends really upon the episode how Lucy and Viv they get. So this is probably the most direct I Love Lucy reference in the whole show. and that you literally have a conveyor belt. And there's no chocolate, but there's plenty of beer. So.
Plenty of beer. Yep.
Plenty of beer.
Yeah. And I love Big Henry's line, you know, when she turns up the speed, it's like, what is this? I'm not an octopus here.
Yeah.
And that is an exit stage right moment, gotta say.
Yes. I love Laverne just basically flipping her best friend off, lying down the conveyor belt, just being wheeled out of the scene. That to me is just fabulous. I love it so much.
Yep. And the actual fight and them circling around and it's like the chin, you know, it's like it's right here. Yeah. After watching this episode, my mom did that as a gesture when she was talking about the raccoons getting into her garden again.
Oh gosh. Oh man. I was going to mention the fact that the end of this episode is really sweet. If I could salvage anything from the episode, I would salvage the wraparound, obviously. The girls reconciling at the end, and that conveyor belt scene. Those are really the best, most solid parts of the episode, I think.
Yep.
But there's something just so sweet about Laverne taking her little suggestion box and singing just to make Shirley feel better.
Absolutely.
Depressed as hell because the man has rejected her, so to speak. Yeah, another man in Shirley's life has rejected her, depressingly enough.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Right in the death.
Yeah, I guess, you know, and that's the good news. There's no Carmine to make Shirley feel bad this time around.
We promise we'll stop kicking Carmine in the nuts. We promise.
Once he's earned it.
Once morale improves, we'll stop kicking him in the nuts. And
yeah, but I love the you know, when Lenny leaves and Shirley comes in, it's like what were you guys talking about? I was talking about the last time, and you know, and they swore we never talk about that, and Laverne's oop face, and it just kind of fell out of my mouth. Well, can't it fall back into your mouth? And
how far did you get? I got to the point where we were fired. That's all the way to the end.
Yeah. Oh, and Cindy's acting when the makeup scene in the kitchen is so cute. It's gorgeous. It's so good.
Yeah.
You know, I'm punishing myself. You know, why is that? Because I hate myself.
Yeah. Cindy's acting is really good in this, and Shirley's vulnerability is incredibly poignant.
It is.
It's very poignant, beautiful in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Really
and it's another one of case of timing, you know, the whole, like, the paper, you know, it's like, they're not mad at you. Yes, they're mad at me, and pulls out the suggestion box and unfurls it. Okay, so they're mad at you. I mean, I love that Laverne really is that best friend, because even at this low, she tries to make her feel better. She doesn't relish the pain or the comeuppance. She is just, you know, I gotta pick you up. Yeah,
that's them in a nutshell. Even when they're fighting, they really don't want each other to suffer.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And what are we thinking on the boys' Union song at the end?
I was going to mention the Union song next. I like this. This isn't my absolute favorite Lenny and Squiggy song, but it's funny. It's good, but not the best one. You gotta strike while the Union
It is, admittedly, it's a very corny song.
It's supposed to be, though. I think it's supposed to be. I think within the framework of the episode is supposed to be. This is the only time we see Squiggy, by the way. We do not see Squiggy for the rest of the episode. He is nowhere to be seen until the boys enter with the song.
But I still, that's interesting. Yeah, so I'm curious, because that's right. I'm trying to think if we've seen episodes that have solo Squiggy or solo Lenny.
Okay.
But anyway, you gotta. But you know, in conclusion, you gotta strike while the Union is hot. Get all the money that they got. Grab every scab by the hair and make sure he knows that you care. I could do that in a Zap Brannigan voice. You gotta strike while the Union is hot. Get all the money they got. Grab every scab by the hair. Make sure he knows that you care.
I can actually picture this now. It feels like it needs to be punctuated with a kiff-like sigh. Just
Ugh. Yeah.
Yes. We don't need. There is no unions in space. There are no unions in space.
Oh boy. But
Okay.
anyway.
Yes.
So what are we feeling for this episode ranking wise?
Let's see. This is roughly around a 6 for me. There's a lot of good stuff with the conflict. I love the wraparound for obvious reasons. I liked the ending, but there's a lot. It's not like memorable when it comes to slapstick. Super memorable. There are certain details of it that are memorable, but it's not like top tier episode for me.
Yeah, I'd have to say the same. Yeah, a 6, maybe a 6.5, but probably more in the 6 range for me. Yeah. I mean, there's good bits, you know. I mean, like I guess what it is I enjoy watching it, but it doesn't feel like it really sticks. Which is interesting for me to say because this was when I was watching this this is part of a bundle of episodes with my mother, and I made sure to write this down verbatim what she said, and the credits come on and she said, you know, this show just cheers me up. It's teaching me to be better to myself and others, and that was she needed to pick me up that day, and it was like, no, so.
Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. That's nice.
You know.
Shout out to Chris's mom. Again. I miss his mom.
Yeah, at some point we should sneak around to this show just to see what happens.
Yeah, it'd be funny. That'd be fun. Just have my father yell in the background like Frank DeFazio.
But anyway, yeah. So I guess just kind of in the 6. Yeah, just good. It's you know just I like the pro union theme. I do feel sorry for the butter cake that was lost along the way, and I'm gonna miss James Burrows' name. But anyway, yeah.
It's indeed. Okay. Yeah. So, next episode.
So sorry. Say again.
Next episode.
Oh, yeah. What's the episode? Next episode?
Prompting you. No.
You want me to ask? Do you want me to ask? Do you want me to just talk about it? I could talk about it.
Normally you prompt me and I say, but like otherwise.
Okay.
I'll just go for it.
I have so many edits we're gonna have to do this episode.
Yeah, no, with a quiet X-Acto knife, just carving stuff out. Carefully sewn together, just for you.
Yeah, it'll be like Frank and Zed here. Anyway, so thanks again, everyone, for joining us for this episode of Night After Night. And if you would like to know more or would like to get in touch with us, we can be found on Twitter at NightAftNightPC. And we also can be found on Facebook at Night After Night Podcast and Tumblr at nightafternightpod.tumblr.com. We can also be found on Patreon if you'd like to throw some bucks our way to support what we do and to help us with possibly getting to do some special new episodes. Because we like to do some special stuff, kind of crossovers, book reviews, now the other kind of specialty, it's like, like how there's a specialty breads when you go to the store. We would like to do some specialty episodes, as a matter of fact, and those sort of things. Anyway,
we do indeed. We want to give you some raisin swirl bread. Let's give you some raisin swirl bread.
Yeah, but anywho, Lisa, what do we got next? We're wrapping up season 2 here, aren't we?
This is the season 2 finale. It is a pastiche on Citizen Kane. The girls are selected for stardom by a Broadway impresario, and things go sideways. And it's also an episode that was created in a way to promote the Laverne and Shirley Sing album, which had come out the previous November. And we will tackle that entire thing. Next episode is called Citizen Crane. Cool.
Well, I'm looking forward to that, and I hope you guys will join us for the thing. It's to come find us. Let's do this. Let's make this happen.
Come, join us. Join us. Oh. Chief, Clown. Bye now.